Well, it's like 0 degrees outside. What else are we going to do other than just hit golf balls indoors and test some equipment out? What's going on, everybody? Scott Oden coming at you here. Excited to have you here. You asked for it. We are going to go over, we got the big brother, we got the little brother. Mevo versus Mevo. Let's see how they work together. For those of you that have this little guy, many of you know this is my favorite launch monitor I've ever owned. Own TrackMan, own FlightScope. From a business, it's been awesome, but just ease of use, being able to set it up, get on a range, hit balls, and just get some numbers and have it be, for what I think is pretty accurate. It's been amazing. But we've got Big Brother now, and we want to see if the numbers compare, because this one's been known to be very accurate. So let's see if Big Brother has the same quality as we go. So let's get to it. All right, so first thing we're going to see when we go Mevo Plus, all right, it's going to be size differences. Obviously, Mevo Plus is going to be bigger. This is nice little pocket size, basically could fit in your golf bag. You do get a hard case that comes with the Mevo Plus, so you can clip it. It actually has a carabiner on it. You could clip it to your bag or wherever if you're going to travel a little bit with it. So it can go, but you know, this one, this Mevo Plus, you can buy hard cases for it. It just comes in a little pouch. Now this one has been really reliable for me and really durable. So haven't really tried it, and I don't think I would try it with this one because you do have the camera and stuff in there, but this thing's actually been hit by a club before, because this one will get in closer. You can have this to be about 3-4 feet from behind the ball, and it will still read. So, you know, people will sometimes get in a little too close to it. It has actually been hit by a club before, and it still makes it through. Again, I wouldn't even try that with this one. So you wouldn't even get shots that read because of that. So one of the nice features of the Mevo has always been that it can be in a little closer. And the Mevo Plus has got to be, you know, 7 feet minimum, 9 feet is the max from behind the ball plus that flight. So you're going to need some more space for it and keep going there. But it's a good unit. They both are very compact. They both seem very well built, solidly built. It's just going to be a little bigger again, because now you're going to have a camera and some of the hardware that's going to measure those horizontals as opposed to what you get with the Mevo. All right, so first things first, just what's the hardware you're dealing with? All right, so the next part of what we're going to be looking at is we're going to just take a look at the apps that they use. So FlightScope is definitely making a push to move to a more iOS system. So you're going to start seeing their computer softwares go away. Using an iPad is pretty much a requirement now to be able to use FlightScope. Android, they do have some of these apps. I've used the Mevo app on Android, works very well just like the iOS. Now I do find that the iOS device you're using matters. I've tried using the Mevo app with just an iPad Air 2 or some of the older Apple devices, and what happens is they just disconnect, and so it gets a little annoying. You have to hit this little reset button and it'll connect, and you have to do that every once in a while. I've since now started using, you know, either a newer iPhone 8 or newer is what I see, and then I have an iPad Air Pro here. This iPad Air Pro, it runs all the time. It's very similar, very reliable, very good connection that you can use. So we go to the app. You know, it's a pretty basic app. You've got some different looks that you can do. Right, you can do some different looks of numbers. Here's all your data points down here. So they've got the 8 data points, and then just like before, you may have seen this, they have their camera where you can actually set up your phone, set up an iPad, take a swing. It will crop that video for you based on what the swing did. So it's really a feature that is really cool to use on your own. If you're somebody that's doing video, it's always hard to do that a little bit, but this will do it for you. So you'll get all that, and then you go from there. Now, when we go into the Mevo Plus, okay, so we just go to their app. The Mevo Plus actually uses the FlightScope Golf app, which is the same app that they use for their X3, okay? So when we go and we fire that up, you're gonna get it set up, all right? It's gonna be a little bit of a bigger app, but once we get into it, you're gonna connect your device and everything. Now, the Mevo connects via Bluetooth. The Mevo Plus connects via its own Wi-Fi signal. So just a little bit of difference there. So you're not going to be able to be on the internet while you're using the Mevo Plus. It's got to be the Wi-Fi signal that comes from the device is what you're connected to. So that's just something to think about as you go. Then we'll get it set up. So we're not going to have it connected just yet. So again, same features. We'll have the video recording. If you have this connected to the device, you hit a shot, that would be here. Now you've got all your data points here. So you're going to be able to see everything. Again, a lot of data points that aren't going to apply to the Mevo Plus because you don't get face to path. You're not getting club path, club face, but you can see what you can get. We mainly hang out in these top areas. And then the other thing is you'll see all the tables and all that stuff like you did before, but what you're gonna add to it is you're actually gonna have some range that you can use, a 3D range. You can actually start seeing, this is a view from the top, you'll be able to see the different angles the ball's taking horizontally off of the club face. So you get your direction, right? So you'll see all that as you go. So the app, very similar, but it's just adding in for those extra features that you're getting from that Mevo Plus. So that's what you do with it. So very similar, both work really good, both very, very quick. All right, so that's how those apps work, but now it's time to see where it all comes down to. It's gonna be in performance. So let's get these two devices, let's hit a couple shots, let's see what we get. Now, when I'm looking at these devices, what I'm going to be looking for, since we're really only getting yardage and some very little club data, club speed, basically ball speed, I want to just see how well they compare to each other. I've found that the Mevo is pretty good as far as accuracy, so I'm looking for the same thing from the Mevo Plus. Also, since we're going to have horizontals here with this Mevo Plus, what I'm actually wondering is, if I hit a shot that let's say I hit a fade where normally I'd lose some distance, is that showing up on the Mevo? I'm interested to see that as we compare the units. So we're going to see what we get. Let's do it. All right, so I'm gonna hit a couple shots here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do two different shots. I'm gonna do a wedge, just like hit some 30, 40 yard pitches, and then I'm actually gonna do an 8-iron here. So again, we'll try and get a feel for, all right, what happens when we maybe hit a couple draws, hit a couple fades, and go from there. So again, using the same units, I think we can get a feel for what's going on with it, and then maybe we could sprinkle a driver in there as well at the end. But let's go ahead, let's hit a couple pitches, and we'll compare what we get on both. Okay, carry there was within a yard on that one. Okay, let's see, I'm interested to see. We've got launch 42 on the Mevo Plus at 43, spins, a lot more spin on the Mevo, a lot less spin on the Mevo Plus. The ball speeds, about a mile per hour difference. Okay, so let's try that again. 40 on the Mevo Plus, 36. Okay, spin again down. That's the biggest differentiator right there. We're gonna have a big time difference in spin. We are using an NXT Tour ball. We're using no dot, but they're both recommended to have the dot. Again, if you've seen in other videos, you see why we don't go dot, because the spin reading actually drops, at least for me, and I've seen that with a couple other people's units. The spin reading actually drops as you go. So, ball speed and club, ball speed on the, so that, ball speed is 42. Basically the difference is in spin. I would say the launch of 45 is more correct for what I just did there than the 38 that it's saying on the Mevo. That's my feeling on that. Again, we'll see. Here we go. Let's do it again. Let's go 41. See, it's spun a lot more. 42, better launch there. Again, I am launching it kind of high, so I think that's the kind of the big differentiator there. But yeah, I think interesting to see as we go through. Those are 3 wedges that we just hit right there. Let's go ahead, let's hit a couple 8-irons and let's see. So, not, close enough, I guess you could say. The thing I could say for it is they're both consistent, feeling like I hit the shots the same way. They are both consistently reading. Now they're consistently reading a little differently. Again, the spin I would say is a little different on the Mevo than the Mevo Plus, but you know, you had some about 400 RPM difference. But let's go 8 iron here. Let's see what we get. $151 to $144. That's probably a little low on the Mevo. Spins very, very similar. Launch a little higher on the Mevo Plus. That's probably, I would say, a little more correct. And let's go. Let's see. Didn't hit that one super good, so that should definitely be shorter. Okay, they both went down. Launch went up for both. That's good. Again, I'm not that low of a launcher, so I'm a little skeptical of that. Not sure about spins either. That's kind of the question I would say as we go through it is what are those spins doing? And we'll do one more here. Hit that one good. Hit that one good. You can see the Mevo Plus actually missed it. Mevo got it. So interesting there. I have noticed one thing. Both got it there. Yeah, 140 is pretty short for me for an 8 iron. I'm not swinging 100%, but I mean, I can usually get it out there like 160, 165 yards. So 140 is a little short. I didn't hit that one that bad. Spin's a little erratic on the Mevo. Maybe we try the Mevo, the original Mevo with the dot again and start seeing what we get. But, you know, to be consistent with both units, that's it. I do launch it more around 22. I think with an 8 iron, you know, I'm a kind of a high launcher. And yeah, I think you're just getting a little bit more of a consistent read. I mean, club speeds there are very, very close as well. So, you know, not too bad. Again, for the price difference, I would expect the Mevo Plus to be more accurate. That's the whole reason you're paying more for it. So from that standpoint, I would say it is, from what I know about what I do. But, you know, again, Mevo is a very good unit for, all right, I want to get a general idea. You can see you're kind of in the ballpark, but all right, so we're gonna save the driver for a different video. We might test it. One thing I wanted to test with it is we are gonna do a draw fade comparison here. So we'll have it verified by the fact that we are gonna have the top view of these shots, okay? We're gonna have the top view of these shots and we can put some data along with it. So we'll know from the Mevo Plus, which I've found to be pretty good, that all right, we're going to be able to tell where we're kind of at with this. So that's going to be something we look at here. Okay, so let's go ahead, get ourselves set.
Ready.
And let's do it. All right, so let's go ahead. We're going to try to hit a draw. So again, if I hit a draw, I should hit it farther than what I was hitting. Okay. That was a draw, so I did hit it farther. I hit it farther on both, so that's good. Let's see if we hit a fade. So I like that the Mevo did register that. Spin should come down, it did. Both actually spun it pretty close there. Numbers, ball speed within 2, club speed within 3, 2 or about 2.5. So that's really good. And your smash off by 0.07, so actually pretty good there. And let's hit a fade here. Definitely fade. Should go down in yardage. They both did. That's a pretty big drop off for the Mevo going to 142. 142 to the 151. I expect it to be more around 151. It definitely reads higher spins on the Mevo. So that's something to take a look at again as we go through it. But I think it's reading a little bit lower of a launch. It's reading a little bit higher of spin. Again, it is kind of consistently doing that, so I like that. But you know what? Again, big time price difference. So I think something that you can deal with as you go through it. All right, so there's Mevo versus Mevo Plus. I'd have to say, obviously, for about four times the price difference, right? It's gonna be a little bit, I'd have to say a little bit more accurate for this. It is nice to have the horizontal feature and know where you're hitting the golf ball. But I've always thought if you're somebody that has a lot of experience playing the game and you're hitting shots, you probably could tell that anyway. But this unit, for the price, I'd have to say it's really, really good. It's a really, really handy tool. I've always thought, if you're hitting it shorter, then it needs to read shorter. If you're hitting it harder, it needs to read that you hit the ball farther, right? So that's the key for me when I'm looking at a product. So for an option like that at $450, this is a really, really good one. I think it gets within the ballpark of what the Mevo Plus did, and the Mevo Plus gets in the ballpark of what some of your more expensive launch monitors do. So I think it can be a really handy tool. Do like this Mevo Plus though, really, really effective in helping your game out. So something to consider, hopefully, as you're looking at units of what you're gonna need. So if you're looking for hitting in your side and being able to see where it goes, obviously this is the choice. If you're looking to more practice outside, something that's very, very mobile, you set it up within seconds when you put it on the ground. You don't have to align it. This one you have to align with the camera. You just get the Mevo Plus behind the ball. You can easily move it. All that really can be a help as well. So something to consider as you're going, what are your needs with each unit? So hopefully this helped you out. Hopefully this helps you decide, all right, I have the Mevo, I want to upgrade. Do I really need it? Or you're just looking, do I need to spend and get introduced for a practice tool? Do I need to go with the Mevo Plus? Or do I go with the original Mevo? That's something to think about too as you're going through with your buying choices. Hopefully that helps you make your decision as you go. As always, thank you so much for watching. Click that subscribe button down below if you're not already a subscriber, and we'll see you in the next video.